Okay, what if I told you that you could make a way better impression in your very next conversation? Seriously, in the next 5 minutes, we're going to crack open the timeless wisdom of Dale Carnegie's masterpiece, How to Win Friends and Influence People. We'll distill it all down into simple, actionable steps you can use like today. You know those people, right? The ones who just seem to make friends wherever they go? It's like they connect with anyone effortlessly. People are just drawn to them, and you're kind of left wondering, what is their secret? What are they doing that I'm not? Yeah, meanwhile, for a lot of us, it can feel like the complete opposite. You know, like you're trying, but you just feel overlooked. It's tough to make that connection. But what if I told you the answer to bridging that gap isn't some new, complicated trick? It's actually a super simple idea that's been around for almost 90 years. So, what is this big secret? Well, let me tell you, it's not some clever pickup line or a fancy technique. The very first, and honestly, the most important principle is all about a fundamental shift in your mindset. It's about changing how you see the world. Okay, so it really all comes down to this. Most of us, and I'm guilty of this too, spend our energy trying to be interesting. We try to impress people, talk about what we want, but the real social superpower, it's flipping that script. It's learning how to be genuinely interested in other people. And trust me, that one little shift, well, it's the key to everything. And Dale Carnegie himself put it perfectly. He said, you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming genuinely interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. Think about that. The world is just overflowing with people trying to get attention. So the person who actually gives it, man, they have a massive advantage. So, okay, how do you actually show that genuine interest? Well, you tap into one of the deepest cravings we all have as human beings. And what is that? It's the desire to feel important, to feel appreciated. But, and this is super important, there's a huge difference between sincere appreciation and just empty flattery. Flattery is cheap, it's hollow, and honestly, people see right through it. Real appreciation is specific, it's genuine. It's about actually noticing something, someone's effort, a unique quality they have, and that one simple act, it can change someone's entire day, or, as we're about to see, even their entire life. So, let me tell you a story. Years ago, in a classroom in Detroit, a teacher didn't see a young boy's blindness as a limitation. Instead, she saw a unique talent. She showed real, sincere appreciation for his incredible hearing, something that most people would have just completely overlooked. And that young boy, that was Stevie Wonder. He said later that that one small moment of appreciation was the start of a whole new life for him. It was the first time he felt truly seen for his unique gift. That is the power of sincere appreciation. Okay, so that's the mindset, the big idea. But how do you actually put it into practice? Let's get practical. Here are 3 simple, powerful tools for your connection toolkit. And honestly, it boils down to 3 things that sound almost too simple, but they are so profound. First, a genuine smile. It costs you nothing, right? And it's a universal signal of goodwill. Second, use their name. It's such a powerful way to acknowledge someone's individuality. And third, really, truly listen. It is the ultimate way to show someone that you value them and what they have to say. Now, if you want to see the power of using a name in action, just look at this story. We're talking about Andrew Carnegie, the steel guy, and his biggest rival, George Palmer. These two were locked in a bitter business fight, slashing prices, basically just trying to run each other into the ground. But then, Carnegie proposes a merger, and he does something absolutely brilliant. Pullman asks him, okay, so what are we going to call this new company? And instead of fighting for his own name, Carnegie says, why, the Pullman Palace Car Company, of course. Just like that. By honoring his rival's name, he completely won him over, and a massive historic deal was done. And here's the principle behind that. A person's name is to them the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Seriously, in today's world of usernames and generic emails, just remembering and using someone's real name, it's a small thing that sends a huge message. It says, I see you, you matter. Okay, what about that third tool, listening? Let's talk about Abraham Lincoln. During the absolute darkest days of the Civil War, he was incredibly stressed, so he invited an old friend to the White House, and Lincoln just talked for hours. He laid out all his problems, weighed his options out loud, and his friend? He just sat there and listened, didn't say a word, didn't offer any advice, And that was exactly what Lincoln needed. Sometimes the most powerful and helpful thing you can do for someone is just shut up and listen. All right, but what happens when you disagree with someone? I mean, this is all great for making friends, but conflict is inevitable, right? Well, it turns out these same principles are just as powerful when it comes to navigating those difficult conversations. Carnegie's advice here is gold. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Now, that doesn't mean you run away from the topic. It means you avoid the fight. Why? Because even if you win on points, even if you're factually right, you almost always lose the person's goodwill. And as the old saying goes, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion and still. And it can be as simple as changing a few words. Think about it. When you say, "You're wrong," what happens? Bam, walls go up, they get defensive. But what if, instead, you said something like, "I could be mistaken here. Let's look at the facts together." See the difference? You've just turned a potential fight into a collaboration. Lincoln, again, gives us a masterclass here. After the Battle of Gettysburg, he was absolutely furious with his general for letting the enemy army escape. He sat down and wrote this incredibly harsh, scathing letter. But then he put the pen down, and he never sent it. He realized that sending it would only make him feel better for a minute, but it wouldn't do any actual good. So he chose understanding over criticism. And now for the flip side. What about when you're the one who's wrong? Let's look at General Robert E. Lee from the other side of that same battle. After a truly disastrous charge, he didn't make excuses, he didn't blame his soldiers, he rode out to meet them and said, "All this has been my fault." Admitting you're wrong, quickly and without excuses, it's one of the fastest ways to disarm people and earn their respect. Okay, so let's tie all of this together. How do we make this real? What's the big takeaway here? Really, the path to making better connections is pretty clear when you break it down. First, you got to shift your focus from yourself to other people. Then offer sincere, genuine appreciation. Remember those 3 magic tools: smile, use their name, and listen. And when disagreements pop up, avoid the argument, don't criticize. And hey, if you're wrong, just admit it, quickly and fully. But just knowing this stuff isn't enough. The real magic happens when you actually use it. So I've got a question for you, a little challenge. Which one of these principles are you going to try in your very next conversation? Just pick one, because that one small step, that's where the real change starts.